Hello. Now, by being the best version of yourself, the most skillful in your endeavor, and by loving yourself, you will happily begin every new day with a spring in your step.
Now, welcome to another refreshing time on your #1 breakfast show in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us again this beautiful and very wet Tuesday morning.
We have a really special show prepared for you, and another 3 hours of absolute entertainment is about to kick off with your friendly anchors. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We are also have a mic somewhere in the building.
Mike Mesikeno is around as well.
Yeah, he's still having birthday hangovers.
He had fun yesterday.
Well, yeah, whatever he got up to. Yeah.
It's really great for you to be here, and letting us into your homes is something we really appreciate. Remember, we're streaming the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Also, you can send in your comments across all our social media platforms. Use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're used to.
Yeah.
People are very angry on Twitter.
Well,
you know, that,
it's a whole
did you
different
read
set
the
of
comments
people.
on the Will Smith, Denzel Washington thing?
I read quite a few. I think we should read some of them out today.
Probably almost 200 comments.
Yeah.
People just going crazy, really upset. Why did you disrespect Denzel?
Why did you disrespect Will Smith? Hello, I know some people were on my side.
Will Smith is a boy.
You
know,
really?
He's coming up.
You know what? This argument continues online. Just make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And remember, our app remains available for you to download from the Android or iOS store. And of course, your mobile devices need this app so you can watch us from anywhere you are in the world.
Check it out. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. TVC Entertainment is where you find it on YouTube. And you can watch short videos of interviews and stuff that's happening in the kitchen. And just, you know, various crazy things that we do on the show.
Yeah.
You know, you caught them dancing last week. Like, I mean, yeah.
So we should not dance now.
Two mummies.
We shouldn't dance now.
Two mummies
MM and I just wanted to let our hair down and dance.
Okay.
And so that was a problem.
Anyway, go find it on YouTube. You absolutely shake your head at that. I'm just saying. Now, Fridays.
Friday, 2:30 p.m., we have a little something extra on Instagram Live. We have really interesting conversations with some really great personalities. And we'll be doing that again this Friday from 2:30 p.m. on Wake Up Nigeria Extra.
All right, so check it out this Tuesday. Something coming up from Chude, Jido.
On Sunday, someone sent me a message and said, oh, you did this. And he says, oh, I'm so sorry I did it. And I'm like, please, can you forgive me? I'm like, but I already forgive you.
And on health, Dr. Dayo Shubamo, a third-generation medical doctor and healthcare management consultant, will be joining us to talk about the 5 things you need to know about transplant surgeries. Oof, it's one you never really want to have to hear about, but there's some information some people need out there.
Yeah, on parenting, Chika Okorafa and Neke will be teaching us how to identify and avoid mind traps. She talks about using awareness to create the life you need.
And on our pet package today, we visited Posh Paws Giant's Pet Clinic. And, well, hey, want to find out more about a tortoise, their lifespan, and how you can keep one as a pet? We had some information that we gathered about that old guy right there.
And finally,
Good morning, guys. I'm on that rain,
It's fact, So the warnings they are spot on, meteorological warnings that this year the rainfall is going to be much more than other years.
Yeah.
So in the last 4 or 5 years, this is going to be the highest at least, because man, the way it's been dropping. I know this kind of rain, it'll just be dropping small. Just be drizzling. And then before you know what's happening, it has drizzled for like 6 hours. And then if you're in Lekki and Island, you're not thinking of getting a kayak or something.
How to swim out of your...
I went there, I was saying like, God does so there. I got so I said, it's not me and you that will pass this water.
Yeah.
I just thought back, man. So be careful with your cars this period and all of that.
True. And you know, I remember when years ago when my wife and I were looking for a house. The first time, this was the first time that we're looking for a house, because when we got married, we moved to a little 2-bedroom over in Ojudu. So, you know, we had a baby on the way, wanted to move to a bigger place. So I remember the advice that I got that period. Make sure you go after there's been like 2 or 3 days of rain. So you go out. So whether it's Bagada or Lekki, wherever it is that you're looking for a house, after it's rained heavily for like 2 or 3 days, then go and inspect a house. So that you can then know what kind of place you're going to end up in, what you're going to be dealing with.
The kind of car you should have.
The kind of car you should have. In fact.
There's this lady who was lamenting. Of course, she was living in a highbrow area of the island. She had spent millions, at least $1 million, over where you talk about house rents and service charge and all that. And then the rains fell. Now, this was something now. The house was sipping water from under the ground.
Oh, goodness.
So it was just coming up. And so she showed the difference. You could see the one outside was dirty. The one inside was clear.
Wow.
So you know that this is maybe waterlogged or something, and then the water level. So it was coming out from under the ground, the whole house. Like, man, she was lamenting, like, even if it's 3 months or 6 months, just give me my money. I need to leave this place.
It's going to be horrible.
Health,
I mean,
everything, like.
And it comes with a lot of things. All the things that it comes with. So there are like frogs and all sorts of things that live in those waters. You start hearing the sounds. If you're going through Lekki in the night, you'll be hearing
I really did that.
Yes. So lucky for us, the same thing for us when we first got married. You know, we had one nice small self-contained. You know, but we were upstairs, so we didn't really feel it until you want to drive out. Then it's like, you know what? Wait, maybe you should wait a little. Just wait a little bit. You maybe wait like an hour till after the rain is
just
gone.
park your car somewhere.
Some landlords and builders, you know, they do a really horrible job in this Lagos, and that's the truth. A horrible job. And then you collect money from people, and you don't tell them the truth. They move into the house.
Then, have you heard of these humidifier things? No, not humidifiers. These things that take water from your wardrobes. I can't remember what they call them. Humidifiers, yeah? So if you don't have one of those in your wardrobe, you're going to start seeing things like mold on your clothes.
No, that's normal.
That is.
So because especially if your house, if there's an AC or your ventilation is not so good. So what happens is that the molds will come. The molds will come when your dresses are not fully.
And this is the period. Anyway, we have to take the news now, and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, reported 490 cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 24,567. Lagos recorded the highest number of infections with 118 cases, followed by Delta with 84 and Ebonyi with 68. Abuja recorded 56 cases, Plateau 39, Edo 29, Katsina 21, Imo 13, Ondo 12, Adamawa 11, Osun and Ogun 8 cases each, Rivers 6, Kano 5, Enugu, Bauchi and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, while Kogi, Oyo and Bayelsa recorded 1 case each. So far, 9,007 people have recovered and have been discharged, while 565 persons have died from COVID-19 related complications in Nigeria. Now, while efforts to find a cure remains a priority all over the world, the numbers keep rising by the day. At the last check, cases have exceeded 10 million from 213 countries and territories. More than 500,000 deaths so far recorded in about 6 months of the pandemic. More than 5 million patients have recovered. In Africa, the death rate is in excess of 9,000 out of a little less than 400,000 cases, pardon me. On the continent, more than 180,000 recoveries have been recorded. Now, the World Health Organization has raised alarm that the worst is yet to come in the COVID-19 pandemic. Director General of the organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said the virus will infect many more people if governments did not start to implement the right policies. The virus was first reported in Wuhan, China, last year and has spread to over 200 countries and territories. Half of the world's cases have been in the US and Europe, but COVID-19 is rapidly growing in the Americas. WHO is expecting that cases in Africa will peak before the end of July. Dr. Bears is advocating rapid testing, tracing, and then isolation. Now imagine when people who come to the aid of the needy cry for help. This is the fate of 4 humanitarian workers and a security guard abducted by Boko Haram terrorists. They were taken earlier this month in the Maiduguri-Monguno Road and are now appealing to the federal government as well as the respective organizations to secure their release. The appeal is contained in a 2-minute, 30-second video clip released by the terrorists group on Sunday. The video showed the humanitarian workers from Action Against Hunger, Rich International Rescue Committee, and a staff of the State Emergency Management Agency urging the government to do something about their release. Meanwhile, the management of the International Rescue Committee and that of Action Against Hunger have, in a press statement, expressly condemned in strong terms the abduction of their staff. Both organizations appealed for the release of their staff, maintaining that humanitarian workers should never have been made targets.
On 1st June 2020, on my way from Maiduguri to Monguno for an official assignment on 1st June 2020, as at 11:37, we encountered the Khilafa soldiers. They captured us and took us to their place. As I speak to you right now, today's date is the 21st of June 2020. I am still in their custody. I am requesting that please, my organization should try and rescue me from their hands.
Meanwhile, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole says it has destroyed several Boko Haram structures and killed their fighters at Washale in the northern part of Borno State. A statement by the Coordinator Defense Media Operations Major General John Eneche says the feat was achieved through airstrikes executed on 27th of June as part of Operation Long Reach after credible intelligence reports were received as well as days of aerial surveillance. Accordingly, the fighter jets were dispatched to engage the location with several hits, killing the terrorists and destroying their structures. According to the statement, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar is pleased with the level of professionalism being displayed by the Air Task Force. He wants them to intensify the offensive against the terrorists. All that's a news update for this hour. Anyway, we have the news stories from the papers online.
Yeah, I'm starting with the Punch headlines here. Today is Tuesday, 30th of June. And it says here, villa shooting, Buhari gets new security officer. 6 feared killed in fresh Benue communal clash. Hausa youths protest planned structure on Oyo Road. EFCC arraigns BDC operators for laundering $1.6 million smuggling proceeds. It also says here, address threat by warring Rivers APC gangs. PDP tells police. Meanwhile, experts forecast recovery in Nigeria's mobile device market. Malami, legally incoherent, fundamentally flawed, it says. A special needs mom in a pandemic. Now, that's a story you can find in the Punch there. And power grid has collapsed 108 times after privatization, says TCN. Meanwhile, CAC to issue incorporation certificates with tax numbers. So that means that you get the certificate of incorporation with the tax number as opposed to getting the certificate then applying for the tax number. So I guess that's a new development. And I'll wrap with this one. On COVID-19, UK reimposes lockdown on Leicester, the city of Leicester. So they're locking that down again. I wonder why. We should really check out the numbers there. That's what I have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, we've got The Nation here. with the headline, with various stories. A loan debt firm seeks stay of execution. And Nigeria begins trial of pirates under new law. And my adventure into politics was a disaster, says a politician there. An appeal court affirms 5.9 billion naira judgment against MultiChoice Nigeria. AKK gas project, a boost for economic development. That's a special report. And we have a few special reports as well on Ajimobi and also COVID-19 in the nation this morning. And then INEC urged to postpone Edo-Ondo polls. And then also ex-PDP spokesman urges delegates to shun peanuts. Oh, wow. And a PDP, Akeredolu Wu Mimiko. And Edo APC seeks support for Izeyamo. And still on the nation this morning, alleged certificate forgery. Court strikes out suit against Obaseki. IGP orders police to restore deputy governor's security details. That's in Ondo State. And Brutai, I will remain in Katsina until bandits are defeated. And finally, on the cover of the nation this morning, Kogi CJ's death underlies state's unfolding COVID-19 tragedy. Wow. And that's it on the nation.
I have the Vanguard headlines here. And yeah, it says, our foreign policy thrust much changed. Now, I think that's an article that's a follow-up from a former one. Or rather, time to change our foreign policy thrust. Yeah, so it's a two-part article there. INEC, REC tells political parties to educate their members to write things. On APC, Giadom hands over, urges colleagues to learn from their mistakes. And breaking here on local government polls, Taraba declares 3 days public holiday. APC, NEC say on that issue here, no law prohibits Buhari holding political meetings at Aso Rock, according to presidency. And on 2023, at no time did I say Igbo will never be president, according to Yerima. Let me keep reading here. It says, we'll destroy rivers warmongers, emboldened by Amechi, according to Wike. And let me wrap with this one. It says here, plot to impeach Ondo deputy governor thickens. And that's what I have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Then I've got the Punch here online. Villa shooting, Buhari gets new security officer. 6 feared killed in fresh Benue communal clash. Hausa youths protest planned structure on Oyo Road. And EFCC arraigns BDC operators for laundering $1.6 million smuggling proceeds. And address threat by warring Rivers APC gangs, PDP tells police. And experts forecast recovery in Nigeria's mobile device market. And ITU designs new guidelines for child online protection. That's a good one. And Malami, legally incoherent, fundamentally flawed. We have a few other stories at the bottom here. Ajaokuta Kano pipeline to be completed in 2 years. And Makinde Olubado Mon Akindele. And finally, APC interim panel to visit Tinubu begs members to withdraw suits. That's it on the Punch.
I think we're almost out of time, but let me see if I can take the headlines from the Nation newspaper as quickly as possible. It says here, loan debt firm seeks stay of execution. Nigeria begins trial of pirates under new law. My adventure into politics was a disaster. I'm wondering who's speaking there. It also says, kudos for Lagos on judges' welfare. Our plight by neglected Lagos streets residents. Now, on COVID-19, labor and social dialogue, Ajimobi of a man and his legacy. That's an article you can read in The Nation. And I'll wrap with this one. INEC urge to postpone Edo-Ondo polls. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more on the show.
Let's see how much we can help you get to where you want to get to this morning. Of course, it's quite a wet morning, frigorific, and it's drizzling in some areas, raining in some, so please do be careful. Maybe Yomi could work on maybe also giving some car tips, because it's never really enough. You always learn when it comes to car tips. So for this rainy season, you really do need to take care. I mean, puddles that seem very big will just be covered. The way the road will just cover it, water will just fall, and it will just seem like the road is smooth. And then when your tire enters, your tire will understand that, there were better days. So, hey, do be careful. Under the rain, keep your speed limit. Now, when I see people trying to overtake during the rain and trying to form my car is fast, it is not the best time. Keep to a certain speed limit. I mean, if possible, anywhere. Try not to go beyond maybe 60 maximum. That's very, very when maybe you're on third mainland or something. But then if you're going through town and all of that, when it's raining, drop it below 40. Just keep it cool. Better late than never, or move out earlier. So please do be careful with your cars. All right, so, well, let's see. You know, there are sometimes. So yesterday I had this issue with the map, and I was going somewhere, and it showed me, that was maybe the first time I was having a major issue with the map, but that was because there was a car that was spoiled, and they had to pass different sides of the lane of the road at different times. And so it saw the road as clear, but we had to stand for a very long time. So I was wondering, but when I got to the point where it was not a car, it was a trailer that had broken down, and I understood why maybe it was confusing for the map. So at times it's just algorithms, and they could give issues, okay? Now, if you are heading, I mean, my map, I'm not understanding this map now. It's telling me 48 minutes from Ajah to here, this place.
That's what it told me. Quite a quick.
So are you on the road? So
yesterday
I
was
need
quite
you.
fast. Yesterday
It was quite fast.
Yeah.
What's happening?
It was about 40 minutes.
Is there a
yesterday.
second lockdown we don't know of or something? And what's happening there?
Not a lot of people are actually on the roads at this time.
At this time.
At this time.
And that is unusual. Very strange. Very strange.
I think it's also a reflection on the fact that we've always underestimated the volume of cars that go to school.
Yeah.
Not knowing that
buses.
half of the cars on the road
Yeah.
in the mornings are probably, apart from those going to work.
School vehicles, school buses, yeah.
Okay, so with just a few very, very little pockets which are basically orange, it will take you from Ikeja to Ajah. Will take you just about 1 hour. And that's really shocking. So let me just pick a bird's eye view and try to see if there's any other place I can pick up any traffic from, while the guys check out online if there's any pointer to anywhere there might be traffic at this point in time.
I've got a few complaints online. Not about heavy traffic, but just mostly about roads, because you know how it is during the dry season. The roads don't look too bad, and then suddenly once it rains, the roads become a bit unstable, and then they begin to cave in. So here someone is saying that the volume of flood waters at Alakija into Festac Gate 3 is really, really terrible. And he says every day is a hellish trip around mile 2 and Festac. Every day is a hellish trip, and that's not good at all. That's at Lagos Traffic Reports. And still at Lagos Traffic Reports, someone talking about Ogudu to Yanoworo updates, but that's actually pretty free right now. So if you're watching and you're the one who asked that question about Ogudu to Yanoworo, I mean, obviously there are flood waters along the way. So like Mike said, be careful when you drive, but it's not too shabby at this time. So if you need to go to the island, you need to move quickly because it's not bad at all. The rains have, I think, made people decide to just stay at home and wait it out till it's daylight.
Maybe,
and then,
maybe.
Yeah.
I think that might be because the roads are looking like they are quite free this morning. Maybe that might be a pointer. Okay, that's all we can take. I'll just go join the guys right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So good.
So yesterday we were talking about Will Smith and
Oh, yeah.
Denzel, and we got quite a few responses.
Quite a few. You know, people feel very strongly about certain things, and I didn't know that. You know,
We didn't know it was that serious.
it was that serious. So it was a joke, guys.
Yeah, it was just
banter.
entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah.
Someone
just-
took it more than entertainment.
Yeah, people, you know, there were quite a lot of comments that made me wonder, wait, is it not two actors we're talking
No,
about?
but you guys,
It wasn't political parties.
Both of you
That's my
came good. Both of you came good. I was impressed with both of you. You came with your strong points, and
but you
you
know
made a
you
battle of it. But Yomi
You
took
know
the
you
day.
helped me out, Karen.
Yeah, I did. But
But
you see,
I'm trying to find the.
we will find it.
I always
The
mention
tweet.
that. I always mention that. Look, man. See, whatever you want to do, somebody will look at TVC here and say, Yomi, you compare it to some other station. See, that's how it is.
Yeah,
You know, it's
true.
so don't get too angry about it. It's just how it is. Then somebody goes, why are you comparing Motola and Genevieve? What's wrong with? Can't you let ladies shine on their own? They will shine on their own.
Exactly.
But it's just life.
So it wasn't even really a
understand?
compare and contrast,
Yeah.
really. It wasn't compare and contrast. It was just, you know, us defending the reason why we like someone.
one person.
We didn't call out the negatives, really, on
Or someone
the
call
other-
it negatives.
Okay, so we had 181
Okay, you found the
responses.
tweet.
Eh?
Wow.
181.
181. We need to take
100
social media. 181.
181 responses.
Are you
and then
serious?
308 likes
Okay.
with 55 retweets.
Just because
So I-
we talked about this.
Yeah, and then people were tagging each other. That can you imagine? Like, I see something like that, then I tag Titi that. Can you imagine this rubbish? You know, like-
Are you serious?
so let me take a few. Let me take a few.
let's see.
A few of the outstanding tweets. When I say outstanding, it means that they stood out. Like, what? These people are mad. Okay, so somebody says, I think it's outright disrespectful. This is at Renki.
Yeah.
I think it's outright disrespectful. Comparing two accomplished black men who have succeeded in a very competitive industry and making people choose one from the other when both are very
Who is the
accomplished
person?
individuals.
Oh, God.
Then he said, hang on, then he said, or she said, this is really absurd.
Okay, so we were just trying. It's actually our
No,
way
no,
of
no, no.
celebrating.
See, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Just
try
trying
to
to
excuse
clarify.
your. No, there's no need. Look,
Okay, no
there's
need.
no need.
No
See,
need.
you have to see. There's no need.
But there were some good tweets too.
Take
though.
it. Yeah.
There were some
Ah.
good tweets. There was a tweet like this one says Denzel, his maturity, decency is top notch in movies. Now that was the kind of response we were looking for.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
just say the reason why you like them. But then this one kind of pained me. Okay, I won't read this one. But let me read this one. It says, I see no reason for comparison. Both are great actors, wildly cherished in black entertainment globally. That was someone's opinion. So basically, they're not on either side.
So the point is, you spoke about Denzel who has 2 Oscars, and then Will Smith has Golden Globes.
Golden
and all of
Globes,
that.
yeah.
Every year they come against themselves. And
Exactly.
it's just what it is. You know, like okay. So the issue was, who do you prefer? You pick up some points and all that. Don't get to wherever you are.
And then look, sometimes somebody can come up with a Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson comparison. There are some people who weren't alive
When, all this
when
was
Michael Jackson died, some 11 years ago. So they're 9 years old, and all they've ever heard in their life is Justin Bieber. So obviously they're not going to.
This is serious.
They're not going to like Michael Jackson because they don't know Michael Jackson.
Yes.
So even if like an older person is upset and screaming and saying, "Oh, Michael Jackson is the greatest. Oh, he's the legend. He's the king of pop."
Yeah.
The
can't
10-year-old is like,
connect.
I don't understand. So it's life. That's just how it is.
And
you know?
then,
There's one here. This is a high level of disrespect to Denzel Washington. Why compare a goat with Will Smith? as in greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But then there was a picture of a goat there, so I was like,
you saw this trend of some musicians, right? And northern musician, a guy comes up, I'm a goat, I'm a goat, I'm a goat, and that one comes up, I'm a cow, I'm a cow.
Okay.
And then you see this issue of racism and I don't know, and discrimination. And the guy goes, a cow is white and a goat is black. I said, you've not seen black cow and white goats. How is that part of it? And then after all this was, the final one comes, I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Weird.
so but you see something that I found quite interesting when I saw this thing is somebody goes, oh, you must be joking. Someone says you're crazy and all of that. I think it's a reflection of who you are, first of all, if you have to resort to disparaging remarks or comments to try to, I mean, you don't have to. You know, when you want to make a point, oh, I like this person, but you can't tell somebody you're crazy for preferring a Will Smith over a Denzel Washington.
So there was someone that was on my side here, and the person says, Denzel is a great actor, no doubt. But Will Smith is amazing from the very beginning. When he started acting in the comedy series Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, if you agree with me, Will Smith is good in all areas of movies, be it action, comedy, romance, adventure, sci-fi. The person went through the guy's whole CV.
I think there's some cool comments here. Ememobong Nkana says, Will Smith's niche is comedy. I might not fully agree with that, but she does make it. Says Denzel Washington doesn't make anyone laugh intentionally. Anyway, but Denzel is a powerhouse when it comes to action and dramatic movies. Will Smith is best suited for funny movies. Maybe they both have their areas of strength. I like this. This is cool. Yeah. This is what we wanted. Maybe she didn't pick anyone.
But following up on that, I mean, it's I feel like a lot of times, when people hide behind a keyboard, it's always, sometimes you go on the attack for something that would normally could have been resolved or you could have addressed in a more respectful way. So somebody puts out a tweet, and I saw this like it was a conversation over the weekend. So somebody put out a tweet, and then innocently, it's like me making a general statement. It's good to invest in the stock market right now, or something. Yeah. And then innocently, another person responds. Maybe Titi then says, tell me more, or just asks a question. And it wasn't a stupid question, it was an intelligent question that said, tell me more. And then because I put out the tweet and I'm getting a lot of retweets, I then respond to her, read a book or
something funny.
Just in an offhanded manner that trying to make her feel small. You don't have to do that. You can send her a link that you can check out resources here. Just carry the person along or ignore. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with just ignoring tweets.
Very true.
Do you have
No, but
everybody,
Twitter is such everyone wants to be savage. You want to be that one that I'm savage, classy, bougie, ratchet. You want to be savage, so you want them to screenshot your tweet and post it on Instagram. Yeah. So
any day, anytime. If I'm on Instagram, I feel a lot safer. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I feel like I can scroll through Instagram and not see anything vile.
Yeah.
But Twitter, even if you're not following someone, just by following a hashtag, you can see a lot of anger.
A lot of anger.
And sometimes I just
I'm not sure how that division became so stark. Because when you're scrolling through Instagram, you're seeing pictures of people smiling.
Yeah.
Nice
so
baby.
It's mostly
somebody cooking.
It's mostly because of the algorithm of Twitter. Somebody will put up a tweet from somebody that you just hear, I follow somebody, and that person follows another person. I see that person's tweet. Yeah. And it's an algorithm. Just the way they try to put on Explore page for Instagram. So, but then the Explore, you have to go on Explore page, but on Twitter, it's on your timeline.
It's on your timeline.
Wow.
It's just crazy, yeah.
Oh, well. We are going to be exploring some other topics, such as the last one. So get ready, people. We're going to be doing some more compare and contrast.
Exactly.
Just because of you. We're going to be taking a quick break, though. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.
Sunday, someone sent me a message and said, oh, you did this. And he says, oh, I'm so sorry I did it. And I'm like, please, can you forgive me? I'm like, but I already forgave you before I mentioned it to you, because if I didn't forgive you, how could I have been speaking to you all this time without saying this? And that's one of the most important things I've learned about forgiveness. People think that if you forgive too quickly, then the person will do it again. No, but the person will only do it again if you allow the person do it again. That's different from forgiveness. I can forgive you for coming into my house and making a mess, and yet make sure that you never come into my house again. You are forgiven away from my house. That is forgiveness. Forgiveness means that when you think about the person, you don't think, oh my God, this person was so terrible. I cannot know. No, there's no anger. There is no rage. There is no nothing. It's just like, are you angry when your leg hits a table? No, you're not angry when your leg hits a table. Because all you need to do the next time is avoid the table and be like, okay, that's life. Life happens. People hit tables and you move on. That's actually what forgiveness is. And when that happens, you can pre-forgive people. You can say, whatever you do, I'm going to forgive you. But because I love myself enough, I'm going to take the actions I need to take care of myself, to ensure that what I don't like doesn't happen again. As long as you love yourself enough to take the actions to take care of yourself, it can be very easy to forgive a person of anything at all.
Now, if we make a deliberate and conscious effort, we'll find beauty no matter where we are or how we feel.
Words of wisdom from Titi Oyinsa there. Yeah. Go to her Instagram page, Titi the Dynamite. Make a comment, like her, follow her.
Wow. Really?
She's an influencer as well, as you can see, with over 50,000 followers.
Okay. Am I paying you for PR now? You know, I'm just saying.
As a PR specialist, you know, I throw in a few freebies once in a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And well, it's the last day of the month of June, and July is just about maybe some
few hours away.
Yeah. Well, still more like 18 hours away, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a fresh look, fresh month, remaining 6 months of 2020.
As in,
what are your plans? What do you want to do? For some people, it's a new beginning.
How are you going to recover from what could have, been a catastrophic loss in the beginning of the year?
I heard for some others, it's the end of the first trimester of the... like you got pregnant during the lockdown, and June 30th is the end of your first trimester.
All those lockdown babies.
Yeah.
We see you.
So, congratulations.
Welcome.
So for some people, if it's number 5 you're expecting, it's not.
It's not really congratulations at that point.
It is still a blessing. But
wow.
Anyway,
the second hour of the show has begun. We believe you really enjoyed the first one, hopefully. And the show gets better every minute, so you need to stay right there. We have something special in store for you. Remember, as we move around, let's observe all the necessary hygiene standards. Wash your hands, wear your face mask, have your hand sanitizer with you. Please keep away from people. Please. Biko.
Anyway, so it's really, really important to do all those things and ensure that those things that you learn during these 3 months, washing of hands, safe distancing, and all of that, make that your culture, make that your habit, becomes a part of your life, and you can keep yourself and others safe.
Please do. My name is Titi Oyinsa.
And I'm Yomi Ope. Right now, of course, you know that the show is online at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook as well.
At TVC Connect. And we have connected with our chef. Our chef's name is Chef Adiola. Mike is standing by with the chef today.
Chef Adiola is in the house today. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so just give us a hint. How's today? What are we doing today?
So today we're making cilantro rice with beef and brown sauce.
Cilantro.
Oh,
is that Italian or something? No. Cilantro. All right? You'd have to chill and be a part of the show to see what we're going to do today.
Cilantro sounds like a dance move. Cilantro.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It just sounds danceable.
Anyway, coming up on the show this hour, we have health. Dr. Shovamal is going to be joining us to talk about something that is a little bit different from our usual. Talking about transplant surgeries, whether it's heart, the lungs, kidneys. Even liver, kidneys, you get transplants these days.
Yeah.
And
5 things you need to know.
5 things you need to know in that area. We also have Chika or Cora for joining us about talking about mind traps to avoid and using awareness to create the life you need when it comes to parenting. Awareness, very key.
And on our pet package today, we visited Posh Paws Pets. We found out about Mr. Tortoise. And, well, we'll find out a lot about their lifespan and how you can keep one as a pet. I found out that, a lot of people do have these as pets. It's interesting, and they're not as messy as some other pets. Very easy to look after and all that.
Yeah.
We'll be hearing more about it soon.
And then finally joining us on the show today, talented musical artist whose songs are inspired by rich culture and diversity of African music, Ewa Cole.
So, Mike, where's our cake now?
Which cake?
Where's the cake?
Oh, the one yesterday, you know, see.
So how many cakes did you get yesterday?
Oh, the one yesterday, you know, see.
How many cakes did you get now?
Okay, counting the cupcakes, that should make maybe like 25.
25?
If we count the cupcakes.
Yeah, just remove the cupcakes first. How many cakes did you get? What?
4, 3.5, 4.
Four cakes? Wow!
Count the cup.
Mike getting
why
all the
clapping?
love.
Why clapping?
4 cakes is not beans.
Hey,
4 cakes. Where is our own?
So maybe you and your will be going for, maybe you go like 7, and maybe your should be hitting like 10 or something.
So 4 cakes is a very significant thing.
What's the significance of 4? The way
4 cake is good.
It's good. That's good.
Okay, yeah.
So if you were married now, I'll say your wife first gave you, then so it's
No,
not.
I'm not married.
Secretly.
You know, these days, what you see is not always what you get.
Let's go for the news while we
like DJ that,
get that cake away from Mike.
2 babies. Anyway, time for the news. And the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, reported 490 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 24,567. Lagos recorded the highest number of infections with 118 cases, followed by Delta with 84 and Ebonyi 68. Abuja recorded 56 cases, Plateau 39, Edo 29, Katsina 21, Imo 13, Ondo 12, Adamawa 11, Osun and Ogun 8 cases each, Rivers 6, Kano 5, Enugu, Bauchi and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, while Kogi, Oyo and Bayelsa recorded 1 case each. So far, 9,007 people have recovered and been discharged, while 565 persons have died from COVID-19 related complications. Now, while efforts to find a cure remains a priority all over the world, the numbers keep rising by the day. At the last check, cases have exceeded 10 million from 213 countries and territories. More than 500,000 deaths so far recorded in about 6 months of the pandemic. More than 5 million patients have also recovered. In Africa, the death rate is in excess of 9,000 out of a little less than 400,000 cases. On the continent, more than 180,000 recoveries have been recorded. Now, the World Health Organization has raised alarm that the worst is yet to come in the COVID-19 pandemic. Director General of the organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said the virus will infect more people if governments did not start to implement the right policies. The virus was first reported in Wuhan, China last year and has spread to over 200,000 countries and territories. Half of the world's cases have been in the US and Europe, but COVID-19 is rapidly growing in the Americas. WHO is expecting that cases in Africa will peak before the end of July. Dr. Ghebreyesus is advocating rapid testing, tracing, and then isolation. As the fight against COVID-19 intensifies, various state governments are putting measures in place to flatten the curve. Lagos, the epicenter of the virus, has been at the forefront of this battle. 7 private laboratories in Lagos State have been added to the 4 government laboratories that have been licensed to conduct tests for COVID-19. This is to expand the testing capacity of the government and ensure the curve is flattened. It has always been said that the state is at the level of community spread of the virus. This mindset has led the government to partner with private laboratories in a bid to ramp up testing capacity. Initially, 4 laboratories have been carrying out tests on patients for COVID-19. They include Lagos State Biobank, Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Central Public Health Lab Yaba, Lagos University Teaching Hospital. The state government also believes that the inclusion of these private laboratories will help tackle the pandemic. Meanwhile, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole says it has destroyed several Boko Haram structures and killed their fighters at the Washale in the northern part of Borno State. A statement by the Coordinator Defense Media Operations, Major General John Eninche, says the feat was achieved through airstrikes executed on 27 of June 2020 as part of Operation Long Reach, after credible intelligence reports were received as well as days of aerial surveillance. Accordingly, the Air Force NAF fighter jets were dispatched to engage the location with several hits, killing the terrorists and destroying their structures. According to the statement, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar is pleased with the level of professionalism being displayed by the Air Task Force. He wants them to intensify the offensive against the terrorists. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. It's time for us to take a second look at the newspaper headlines this Tuesday, June 30th, 2020.
We're going to start with the Punch newspaper this morning, and it says APC interim panel to visit Tinubu begs members to withdraw suits. Gyadom hands over to Buni, commends Buhari for saving ruling party. At the top of the page there, it says NPA tackles whistleblower over $1 billion secret account claim. Buhari Olubadan Makinde mourn as business mogul Bode Akindele dies. Again, AGF Army refused to produce killer soldiers as Wadumi trial begins. It also says here, federal government okays primary 6, JSS3 and SSS3 resumption, ends interstate lockdown. So once again, that's primary 6, JSS3, SS3 are resuming, and only them are resuming, and then ends interstate lockdown. Daycare, other primary, secondary school classes, higher institutions remain shut. Domestic flights to resume. Churches, mosques, cinemas remain closed. It also says here, Ondo travelers, abductors reduce ransom to 10 million naira. Police arrest 2 for siphoning fuel from Lagos homes. And power grid has collapsed 108 times after privatization, says TCN. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, we've got the Nation here. Let's take a look at the headline. COVID-19, 18 councils with 60% of cases for lockdown. Lagos, Abuja, Edo, others top list. Business mogul Akindele dies at 88. Buhari Makinde mourn. And Kogi CJ's death raises issues on the state's virus status. NCAA to bar private jets from charter services. And a few other stories on the cover of the Nation. Electricity tariff hike to wait as Lawan Bajabiamila intervene. We have the global cases of coronavirus at 10.3 million cases. Deaths now stand at 507,000, and recoveries, the good news of this whole story, 5.6 million recoveries globally. And that's it on the Nation.
I have the Guardian newspaper here as well. Federal government lifts ban on interstate travel, okays local flights. Extends second phase of eased lockdown by 4 weeks. Approves resumption of graduating students. Consumers, operators pitch battle on pay TV. Subscribers insist on pay-as-you-go tariff. Seek intervention. Tariff hike remains despite lawmakers' directive. MultiChoice claims same payment across markets. NBC's new code to cut 4 trillion naira investment increase job losses. Why tariff increase won't solve power sector woes? Page 3 has more on that. Experts warn of more coronavirus cases, deaths coming in weeks. And I'll wrap with this. Igbo leaders fume as fake Ohaneze Indigo registers with CAC. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, let's check out the Daily Trust. COVID-19, federal government lifts interstate travel ban, reopens schools for graduating students, and approves safe resumption of flights. Free movement, good for us, transporters say. And there's a sad story here on page 4 about a mother. How I knew Khadija was dead. She was the mother of a 6-year-old rape victim. Nigeria loses 61.1 trillion naira to illicit financing. That story is on page 15 in the Daily Trust. And National Assembly postpones hike in electricity tariffs. And at the bottom here of the cover of the Daily Trust, Wadume, how we escaped soldiers' attack, says team leader. Change inevitable, Buni tells aggrieved APC members. And banditry, my people live in fear, Masari tells Brutai. And on the cover of the Daily Trust this morning, we have a photo story, an interesting one. Children rescued from kidnappers' den by operatives of the IGP's intelligence response team being shown to the press for their parents to identify them. And this was in Abuja yesterday. And hopefully the parents have been reunited with their children.
Hopefully. That's so sad. Okay, we have the Daily Sun here now, and it says teachers protest as federal government reopens schools. SS3, JS3 students, primary 6 students to resume. Interstate travel ban lifted, flights begin soon. Curfew extended by 4 weeks in Abuja, Lagos. On insecurity, Igbo group presses for enforcement of Operation Lion Walk. Government considers total lockdown of 18 local government areas, contributing 60% of COVID-19 cases. 3 deaths, 24 health workers infection, frightening, says Ebonyi governor. Court dismisses certificate forgery suit against Obaseki. And here again, we have that same photo story with the kidnapped kids rescued by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, in Abuja yesterday. All right. Now, that's all we can take on the headlines in the dailies at this point. But it's time for us to take the fitness segment. Enjoy.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Bikari, and I'm a fitness trainer. And I'm trying to help people to lead a healthy, active lifestyle. All right? So today, I'm going to show you guys how you can accomplish a full body workout in just Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is how you accomplish the full body workout in just 4 minutes. See what it is. Good job. Good job.
Get out. We're in the kitchen. I didn't know I was in the kitchen today, so I think that accounted for why I wasn't that excited. But now, things have changed a little bit, and we have a nice spread for you this morning, something very special going on. I've got my chef, Adeola. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good, very good. So something very special is going on here.
Yes.
I'm seeing, is this sugar?
Yeah, brown sugar.
So brown sugar, some brown sugar love on Tuesday. So talk to us about what we're doing and how we're going to start.
Okay, so we are making beef in brown sauce and cilantro rice today. And then we have onions, garlic, ginger, brown sugar, bell pepper.
Don't move so fast. Let's catch our breath. We just need to know so that those people watching us at home can also sort of follow us. Okay, all right. So you can see all the ingredients right there on the screen.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go. So I'm seeing 3 black things here, but they're all different, right?
They're all different.
Okay, so what's this one?
This is dark soy sauce.
Dark soy sauce.
Yes.
And then this one?
Oyster sauce.
Oyster.
Yes.
And this?
Light soy sauce.
Dark and light.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference?
One is just lighter. This automatically gives your food a dark color.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. And this is more of the flavor and all of that. Okay, so that's for the 3 black things that you're seeing on the screen. What's this?
That's corn flour or
corn flour.
cornstarch.
Cornstarch. And then we've got 5 ingredients here.
Yes.
This is a pepper.
Chili pepper.
Okay, chili pepper.
Flakes.
Chili flakes.
Yes. Black pepper.
Black pepper.
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Salt.
Salt and brown sugar. That's my favorite. That's the only thing that. Okay, over here. Well, spicy stuff. Okay, so
ginger, garlic, onion,
and then
parboiled rice.
Parboiled rice.
Beef fillet.
Beef fillet. So what's beef fillet? What does that mean?
Just beef cut into strips.
Okay, into strips. It's very red.
Yes.
I said that before, right?
Yes, you did.
Looks like colored beef. And then some veg.
This is coriander.
Coriander. And then more veg.
Yes.
Carrots.
Green spring onions.
And bell peppers.
Bell peppers.
All right, so it looks like we're ready. And this is just regular oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so straight up, and this is what we're going to be making today. What's it called again? Sorry.
Beef in brown sauce and
beef
cilantro
in
rice.
brown sauce and cilantro rice. Wake Up Nigeria is just very special. You guys, this is something that you can do at home, right?
Yes.
And of course, do something special. Now, Chef Adeola is from Official One Pots. You can check her out on Instagram. All her stuff is there, right?
Yes.
And okay, so where do we start with this meal this morning?
So I'm going to marinate this.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you need to marinate? I'm very hands-on in the kitchen, so put me to
Okay,
work.
some brown sugar. Let me
A
get
little bit of brown sugar.
Yes, a little bit of brown sugar.
So what does the brown sugar do for the meat?
Okay, so because I'm going to
So
add...
let me help you with that while you're
All right.
marinating. Are you going to be using your hands for that?
Yes.
Okay, so
a little bit of brown sugar.
a little bit of brown sugar, so like so.
Just add a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
A little bit more?
No.
Okay.
Black pepper. This.
So the black pepper goes
Yes.
in there as well.
That's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so I'm not going to add salt. I'm going to add light soy sauce.
Light soy sauce,
Yes.
okay.
Just a little.
A little bit of light soy sauce.
Yeah. So
in
the
your
brown
beef,
sugar is to
right.
balance the salty. This is very salty.
Right.
Yes.
right.
Both light soy sauce and dark soy sauce are very salty. So you need to be careful when you're adding that.
Right.
And then, so I'm just going to add a bit of
Okay.
this.
The corn flour.
Corn flour, yes.
Bit of corn flour. Nice.
Okay.
And then you
yes,
marinate it. You just, yeah.
just mix in.
So how long do you do this, and do you then keep it for a while, or it's...
Okay, so you can do this overnight. If you're going to use it in the morning, you can leave it overnight, just marinate and keep in the fridge. And you can also do it like the way we're doing, maybe immediately you're ready to cook.
Okay. Okay, so right after that, we can then, what's the next thing that goes on? Because I think we have to go
Okay,
to...
so right after that, I'm going to put my
Careful.
pan on fire and then put some olive oil.
Olive
I'll
oil.
add ginger, garlic, and onion.
All right. Okay, so while we're, putting all of that together, we have to head on over for some health talk on the couch.
All right, for our health this morning, we have Dr. Adedayo Shibomawo. She's a third generation medical doctor and healthcare management with over 17 years of international healthcare business experience. Now, he has joined us today to talk about 5 things you need to know about transplant surgeries. Hello, doctor. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, so we're talking about transplant surgeries. Are we talking about a specific type of transplant or transplant surgeries generally?
We're talking about generally. Just a couple of organs that can be transplanted.
Okay, so let's start with definitions first. What would you define as a transplant surgery?
Okay, simply defined, the transplant surgery is when you remove an organ or tissue from one body and now put it in another body. Most times as a result of either a disease in the recipient or some people are just born without an organ. So it could either be as a result of birth defect or as a result of disease.
Okay, and most of the times we know that they are life-saving. So let's get straight to it. What are the things that we're supposed to know when it comes to transplant surgeries?
So a couple of things that are very important. So one is that you have to be careful about compatibility issues. So the same way when you want to transfuse blood between two people, you have to sort of check that the blood types are compatible. It's the same thing with transplant surgery. You need to make sure that both the recipient and the donor are compatible. If not, you're just going to have a massive rejection, which will basically lead possibly to the death of the recipient. So that's very important.
Do we have cases where doctors or surgeons actually don't check for compatibility before going ahead with such surgeries?
Yeah, it happens, but it would only happen either with a quack or
okay,
with
true.
a doctor. Yeah.
All right, okay, so let's go ahead. Compatibility, that's a major one. Moving on from that.
Okay, so the second thing that's also very important is even when you transplant organs between two compatible people, the body's natural defense is to reject any foreign body that goes into it. So what usually happens is when the recipient gets an organ from somebody else, the person has to be placed on immune suppressants for a period of time. Sometimes is for the rest of your life. That's basically just to sort of condition the body not to reject the new organ. And then, of course, it's also very important for you to sort of figure out where you're going to get a donor from. The most common source of donated organs, obviously, is your family members. You might decide to give an organ to someone in your family, obviously, because you care about the person. But then sometimes either you have no family or no one in your family is willing to give you an organ. I mean, it happens. So you now have to get an organ, but you have to be ethical about it, and I'll explain. So in most countries of the world, buying an organ from somebody else is illegal. That would just be organ trafficking. So a lot of times it's now up to you to now get on a donor list. So every country has a donor list. And the way they do it is two ways. So some people, even while they are alive, they say, you know what, the minute I die, I want my organs harvested. I then give it to somebody who needs it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And the second way basically is, even though, like I said, the trafficking is banned, but there's some countries where it's still possible. Like there are black markets, they are available, and you can procure an organ. So if you're able to do that, that's also an alternative.
Wow. All right. Okay. So what are the other ones? What are the other things?
So the other considerations, like I said, is so in every country in the world where there's like a donor list, the amount of organs are always less than the demand for the organs.
Yes, so I know there's normally, the waiting list is normally quite long. I hear people waiting for years as part of a donor list, yes.
Yes. So the way the organs are allocated is a function of two things. So one is obviously it's like a first come, first served basis. So the earlier you get on the list, the higher the chances of getting an organ when it's available. But the second thing is there are also some considerations. I'll give you an example. So imagine a 16-year-old teenager who needs an organ, and then beyond his prime of life.
We're having a bit issues there with connection there, Doctor. I hope we can get back to you, but if we can't, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, there are considerations that are considered when you want to decide to get an organ.
Okay, Dr. Adedoyo, thank you very much. We just had some few connection issues there at the end. We will see if we can put up something to get available for you on social media to get the end and all of that, but we'll continue next time. Thank you very much, Dr. Adedoyo. That was quite insightful there. All right, we'll take a short break now. There's still more to come on show.
Well, as you can see, Chef Badeola has put me to work, and I'm stir-frying the beef. So, Chef Badeola, talk to us about what's inside this beef that we're stir-frying right now. I know we marinated it with some ingredients, so talk to us about that.
So you have black pepper, just to give it a bit of spicy, not bland taste.
Yeah.
We have light soy sauce.
Yeah.
And then brown sugar. And then corn flour to bind it together.
Yeah, brown sugar, that's why it's getting sticky at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay. So, and how long are we going to be doing this?
Okay, so for about 10 minutes, or till you're comfortable with the result you get.
Yeah.
So right now, I think it's okay. And
You're
then
sure it's okay?
Yes, I'm sure it's okay.
A bit of redness here and there.
It's okay, we're still going to...
Okay, we're still going to do some work in it.
Yes.
So I'll move this out of the...
Yes, and then you can
out of
put
the
it
heat.
here.
Put it in here?
Yes.
I guess I can. All right, so what are we doing here?
So I'm just cutting the onions, chopping the onions.
Right.
And then when you're done with this, I'm going to use this pan.
To
I'll saute the onions, garlic, ginger a bit, and then we pour in the veggies.
Pour in the veggies.
Yes.
Ah, I like how this thing is taking shape. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really great meal.
Yes.
So on the whole, this whole thing takes how long to prepare?
Okay, plus prepping and cooking, 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Are you
Yes.
sure with the prepping?
Yes.
You know this rice is already parboiled.
Okay, so 1 hour.
Okay, so let's say 1 hour.
Yes.
All right. So I think right now we're going to be looking at, as you can see, you've got the ingredients on your screen. And it's a long name. It's beef in brown sauce paired with cilantro rice. What's that cilantro in the rice?
Coriander.
So why don't you just say coriander rice? Why?
Coriander is also known as cilantro.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, paired with coriander rice. For those of you at home who don't know what cilantro means. Anyway, so what's next after this?
So I'm going to put this back on fire.
Do you need more oil in there?
Yes, I'm going to add more oil.
Okay, a little bit of oil. Yeah. Put that back. Just warm it up a little bit. And while we're getting ready, I think, is TT on standby for us for something? Yes, indeed. Let's head on over to the couch now.
Okay, so it's time for parenting. Chika Okora for Aneke is redefining what it means to be a teacher. With over 23 years of teaching and 17 years of leadership under her belt, she's going to be teaching us how to identify and avoid mind traps this morning. Now, she talks about using awareness to create the life you need. Good morning.
Good morning, Titi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's great to talk to you this morning. Okay,
Yes,
so now
you too.
there were two key things in what I said just there: mind traps and creating the life you need. How do they even come together at all? How do we even link them in this conversation? Give us an introduction.
Okay, thank you, Titi. Yes, it's so important. And really, how do you link the mind traps and really understand ourselves and our shared humanity is through the awareness. Just simply taking the time to take a breath, take a moment, slow down, be more mindful with ourselves and our children and all around us can really help to notice our habitual tendencies. And it's very surprising what you can see.
Okay, so when I hear someone say be mindful, I often feel like they're avoiding saying don't be careless. And there's a reason why I say that. So there are some people who have maybe just thrown caution to the wind and decided to let things come or let the chips fall where they may. So how do we get out of that space and start to be more mindful?
Thank you. That's really a brilliant question, because being mindful it's not being careless. It's being very careful and very intentional to get to know yourself. We very often fall into negative, our brains, our minds, it's like Velcro for negative and Teflon for the good. And we can get into a lot of negative ways of thinking, ways of acting. There's a wonderful Cherokee parable that says we have two wolves and they're fighting, one that's good, one that's evil. And which one wins? Whichever one we feed. So to be aware that we feed maybe too much negative, and we need to start feeding that positive.
Okay. I'm thinking about the children now. And there are some articles you read these days that talk about the fact that you can't really stop children from being who they're going to be. You've become a guide, but then you can't really control things. And I have a feeling parents have begun to feel a little helpless in this particular area, especially if their children have got to a particular point where they're completely feeling independent of their parents. So what can parents do to be more mindful of, maybe their children's feelings, but then also have a little sense of control of the situation?
Yeah. Again, it's being aware, isn't it? The world has changed so much since we were young. Now we're being parents to children who are, quite frankly, their world is going to be very, very different than ours. So to be aware and to tune in to actually what's going on. Many of us do what our parents want us to do based on how our parents were brought up and their values and their wishes and their wants. And it's not until we're older and totally independent that we end up going back to things we love. And parents, pay attention to your children's talents, because very often their talents and their unique skills is where their abundance is going to be later on in life. So it's really to become aware, become more modern, tune into yourself so you understand on a deeper level what's going on with all of us and our shared humanity.
Okay, so I'm wondering why it is in the first place we were unaware. What do you think led to us being so, what will I use, absent-minded? How did we get to this point where we were actually unaware of this situation?
Yeah, our attention got hijacked. We have so many things going on. We're so busy being busy. We're striving. There's so much media. There's so much technology. Really, our attention just got hijacked. So we have to bring back that attention, our attention and our focus, consciously and intentionally.
So maybe we could wrap this up in a nice bow by giving some pointers to parents right now. They're hearing this for the first time. They need to use awareness to create the life they need. But what are the steps they need to take right now?
Okay, please, ever so often, be kind and compassionate to yourself and stop. Take a moment to take a deep breath, to observe your thoughts and feelings, and then proceed a little slower, a little mindfully. I would say use double the time and half the money. Use your awareness to respond rather than react. You don't have to react immediately. Take a little bit of time to respond. Be, like I say, self-compassionate and take time for yourself. You are enough and you're doing so much, and really to acknowledge that and be grateful and thankful and take in the good every day. It's a wonderful task you can do with your children before you sleep. And it's just to look at the good things of the day, 3 to 5 things, and, great things that have happened, because like I say, we hold on to the negative and we don't appreciate all the positive things. And I think you said it earlier, Titi, you said we can all find beauty and happiness right here and now, and it's so true.
I have to say a big thank you to you for joining us, and I have a feeling a parent or two have taken these pointers and they're going to start putting them into action, because it's a brand new month. We can start afresh. Some kids are about to resume school again. They're going to be, basically thrown into the deep end one more time, and parents do need to be a lot more aware. Thank you so much, Chika.
Thank you so much.
All right, now the parents out there that missed that discussion, you might want to visit YouTube later on. That's TVC Entertainment on YouTube, and see if you can listen to that one more time. I also have to say a big thank you to the chef, because the chef is creating some sensations in my senses here. Something smells good in that kitchen.
Yes, indeed, Titi, look at that. We just sauteed the vegetables. And these are mostly bell peppers that we can see in there.
Carrots.
Carrots and some garlic as well.
Garlic and onions.
And onions. Okay, so we're done with that. We're also done with the beef.
Yes.
And now what's next?
I want to make the coriander rice.
Coriander rice. So let's move this.
Okay.
So it wasn't me that changed the name. It's cilantro.
Cilantro
sounds
rice.
a bit more jazzy. So let's do our cilantro rice right now. Okay, so bag a little bit of olive oil in there.
Yes, and then garlic, ginger.
Okay, so should I put
just a bit?
A little bit of everything?
Yes, and then all the onions.
All the onions?
Yes.
Okay, so which goes in first? Onions?
No, the garlic.
Garlic and ginger.
Yes.
So a little bit of garlic and ginger in there. Then all the onions.
Yes.
And
thank you.
You're welcome. See, Chef, I'm making your work easier this morning. Okay, so how long do we do this for?
Just about a minute.
It's about a minute?
Yes.
And then after that, what?
Adding the rice.
So we're not actually cooking the rice.
No, it's already parboiled.
It's parboiled, but it's not cooked. It's not fully cooked.
Not fully cooked, like 70% done.
Okay. And the rice is very white. I'm not sure what kind of rice that is. Is that like
Basmati rice.
Okay, that's basmati rice.
Okay, so now I'm going to turn this thing.
All right, so put in the rice. Finally. So now we're making cilantro, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that goes in there. Let's get every grain in. So mix it, right?
Yes. I'll add this.
So let's just remind people what this is.
This is coriander.
So that's the coriander. So that's the coriander
This is also
rice.
known as cilantro.
Cilantro.
Or
So
Chinese
it's giving
parsley.
it, yeah, it's Chinese parsley. So that's another name that we're giving it
Yes.
as well. So it's giving you this nice green and white look. And The garlic, ginger, and onions is then, you know, making it a little brown as well. So I'm liking all of that. Okay, so anyway, guys, so very special thing that Chef Adeola is teaching us today. So that is getting ready. How long is it going to be on for?
Just to like 10 minutes.
Like 10 minutes?
Yes, but then you have to keep.
Oh yeah, have to keep mixing.
Yes.
So cilantro rice getting ready, taking shape, while we take a break and come back after this. Chef Adeola. Yeah, welcome to the third hour of Wake Up Nigeria. And we'd like to give you the very best of breakfast entertainment. This is the third hour.
Yes, indeed. Now, there are 3 precious gifts. Now, the air we breathe, the love we give, and of course, your number 1 family breakfast show. Yeah, those are the 3 gifts.
Yeah, okay. This is very nice. Very good, very good. Anyway, so the next hour, 45 minutes is going to be
Yeah.
very good. Looking forward to it. We've had some amazing things going on in the kitchen. I like that that conversation you just had about parenting. Very nice. Very very solid.
It's
Solid
all about awareness. Be aware that you can't be everywhere, but you can do something about where you are right now.
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
just some things parents need to hear. And sometimes when they're talking about parenting things, people just turn the other way and walk. But no, we had that here for you, probably you listening right now. And you don't want to miss anything that we have left in store till the end of the show. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. Of course, we're live online right now, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
We're here for your comments, your contributions, your prayers. We love them. Please use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And now we've also got a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. TVC Entertainment is where you can find us on YouTube. Short videos, if you want to see what happened with our cilantro rice this morning. I mean, I've been hard at work. You guys saw me working. I haven't got my fingers burnt.
Really? Really?
It's bleeding.
All you did
There's
was
blood.
turn
Look
rice.
at blood.
Turn rice. That was all you did.
Anyway, so cilantro rice taking shape. Chef Adeola, you can find her on Instagram at official1pot. She's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, she's tidying up. She's tidying up, meaning the
really
food
good.
is almost ready. Oof, look at that.
And that's just a part of it,
Ah, wow.
without the beef.
Okay, now I'm feeling hungry.
Yeah.
Hope you guys can't hear my stomach rumbling. But we also have something else that happens on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. We have a little something extra for you on Instagram Live. It's an opportunity for us to reach out to some very important personalities and have important conversations. And we do that on Fridays.
All right, so coming up, we have our pet package today.
Yeah.
We visited Porsche Paws Giant Pet Clinic and went to find out one of these animals, one of the longest lifespans. I heard that they go up to 200, 300 years, something
honestly.
like that. Wow, amazing.
That's a really old timer right there. And finally, we'll be joined by talented musical artists, someone whose songs are inspired by the rich culture and diversity of African music, Ewa Cole.
Women and men that are scantily clad with only suspenders. Like,
Yeah, so I could always throw that back at you. What is it with the men and the women that are scantily clad in music videos? So we
but
can
I
have
asked the
that
question
too.
first.
So you see, life is demand and supply.
Okay.
It boils down to demand and
Yeah,
supply.
yeah.
I mean, if not like you don't have videos with people fully clad, of course. But hey, these people want the ones.
Actually, very true.
So,
I mean, I wanted us to talk a little bit more about that because I have some very strong opinions.
People want what they,
But,
because
yeah,
look,
I think,
if everybody, if people, if it didn't sell,
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't get the views and all of that,
Yeah.
you won't see them. You know, a lot has been made about objectification of women when it comes to music videos.
And
how
it's actually sipped into, it used to be just a black thing, even in America, but
Yeah.
it's sipped into white culture now.
Of
They're
course.
also wriggling their waists.
because you know, everybody. Look, let me find a way to stand up with what I do and all of that, and it's what people want.
But for me, it's getting old. It's getting old. Like, you know what? Let's take the news update.
Yes, indeed. Now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, reported 490 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 24,567. Lagos recorded the highest number of infections with 118 cases, followed by Delta with 84 and Ebonyi 68. Abuja recorded 56 cases, Plateau 39, Edo 29, Katsina 21, Imo 13, Ondo 12, Adamawa 11, Osun and Ogun 8 cases each, Rivers 6, Kano 5, Enugu, Bauchi and Akwa Ibom 3 cases each, while Kogi, Oyo and Bayelsa recorded 1 case each. So far, 9,007 people have recovered and have been discharged, while 565 persons have sadly died from the COVID-19 related complications. Now, while efforts to find a cure remains a priority all over the world, the numbers keep rising by the day. At the last check, cases have exceeded 10 million from 213 countries and territories. More than 500,000 deaths have so far been recorded in about 6 months of the pandemic. More than 5 million patients have recovered. In Africa, the death rate is in excess of 9,000 out of a little less than 400,000 cases. On the continent, more than 180,000 recoveries have been recorded. Now, the World Health Organization has raised alarm that the worst is yet to come in the COVID-19 pandemic. Director General of the organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said the virus will infect many more people if governments did not start to implement the right policies. The virus was first reported in Wuhan, China last year and has spread to over 200 countries and territories. Half of the world's cases have been in the US and Europe, but COVID-19 is rapidly growing in the Americas. WHO is expecting cases in Africa will peak before the end of July. Dr. Ghebreyesus is advocating rapid testing, tracing, and then isolation. As the fight against COVID-19 intensifies, various state governments are putting measures in place to flatten the curve. Lagos, the epicenter of the virus, has been at the forefront of this battle. 7 private laboratories in Lagos State have been added to the 4 government laboratories that have been licensed to conduct COVID-19 tests. This is to expand the testing capacity of the government and to ensure the curve is flattened. Now, it's always been said that the state is at the level of community spread of the virus. This mindset has led the government to partner with private laboratories in a bid to ramp up testing capacity. Initially, 4 laboratories have been carrying out tests on patients for COVID-19. They include the Lagos State Biobank, the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Central Public Health Lab in Yaba, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and the state government believes that the inclusion of these private laboratories will help tackle the pandemic. Now, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole says it has destroyed several Boko Haram structures and killed their fighters at Washale in northern part of Borno State. A statement by the coordinator Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, says the feat was achieved through airstrikes executed on 27th June 2020 as part of Operation Long Reach, after credible intelligence reports were received, as well as days of aerial surveillance. Accordingly, the NAF fighter jets were dispatched to engage the location with several hits, killing the terrorists and destroying their structures. According to a statement, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, is pleased with the level of professionalism being displayed by the Air Task Force. He wants them to intensify the offensive against the terrorists. Well, that's the news for today on Wake Up Nigeria. stir-fried it
Yes.
until it was brown, nice and brown. And then after that,
What the brown sugar?
oh yeah, some brown sugar in there as well, sorry. And so after that, we then sauteed the vegetables,
Yes.
which was made up of bell peppers and stuff,
Yes,
right?
and carrots.
And carrots. And then after that, we did the rice.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that's how everything came together. Anyway, we have this pet package that's coming up very shortly, and you know Titi loves her pets, and she went on this visit. But I'm handing over to her so that she can tell us all about it.
Thank you, Yomi. I can't say I'm not jealous about that kitchen situation right now. My stomach is rumbling like crazy. But on our pet package today, we visit Posh Paws Giants Veterinary Clinic to find out more about having a pet tortoise, their lifespan, and how you could keep one as a pet. We got to speak with a doctor, and he told us quite a bit. Enjoy. Welcome to the pet segment, everyone. And right here with me, I have Papa, the 200-year-old African turtle. He just finished eating half of his watermelon. And believe it or not, this guy has been around since World War I. His back is as solid as a rock. His teeth are sharper than you think. And it's just amazing to behold. But what do I need to know to have someone like Papa as a pet? We'll be finding out from the doctor in a minute. So I'm here with Dr. Frank. Now, Dr. Frank is a vet at the Posh Paws Giants Veterinary Clinic in Ajah, Lagos, and he's gonna give us some insight into what it takes for an animal to live for 200 years. Well, Dr. Frank, you have to tell me, talk to me about this amazing giant African turtle.
Yeah, the giant African turtle lives for so many years. The reason is because they have a slow metabolism, and basically what they feed on is more fruits, and so that in a way has, elongates their
Life.
lifespan.
Wow. But the shell, can you tell me what that shell is made of?
Basically, the shell of the giant African turtle is divided into two. That's two parts, the upper part and the lower part. The upper part, you call it the carapace,
Okay.
while the lower part is called the plastron.
Okay.
Now, basically what the shell is made up of is calcium. Basically, that's
Calcium, both sides are made of calcium.
side,
And that, I guess, makes it solidify. I knocked the shell myself, and it was like as if I was knocking a hard rock. Someone even stepped on it in front of me, and the turtle couldn't feel it, you know? But what do they eat exactly?
Basically vegetables,
Any type of vegetables?
fruits,
Yeah?
carrots,
Watermelon, I guess?
watermelon,
Yeah.
and the likes. Basically, that's it.
Are they easy to keep as pets? What would I be worried about if I brought a turtle home?
Basically, there's nothing really much to worry about keeping them. They are very easy to handle and to take care of.
All right, Dr. Frank, now tell me, in terms of vaccinations, is there anything I need to be worried about? Is it expensive to keep a turtle?
Well, in terms of vaccination, you don't really need much to worry about. Basically, what we do is routine deworming and antibiotics.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have much of, for vaccination. You don't really have any vaccine in mind that you administer to them. So basically, deworming and antibiotics.
All right, doctor, so I heard something I thought was just a myth. Just today, I heard that if something should go through the backside of a shell of a turtle, you might never see it again. How true is that?
Well, meat, no meat. The shell, the the back side of the tortoise or turtle. You know, the shell is in a way that, you know, it compresses, and if there's anything going in there, there's every possibility to compress on such, and that could be very hurtful.
Wow. Wow.
So,
So it must be very, very strong
yes, very, very strong.
for it to have lived for so many years. Are there some certain markings on it that prove how many years it's lived?
Yes, yes, there are markings, and the markings are used basically for, you know, to age them.
Okay.
Just like you use certain things to age most animals.
Yeah.
Dogs, you use the dentition, horses, dentition, and so for turtles, you use the markings of the shell.
Okay.
So it is assumed that for, you know, every year, or, you know, for every 2 markings symbolizes a year.
Wow.
So you could actually count the markings on the body and
Calculate how old.
extrapolate what the age.
Wow. Wow, doctor. I know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you so much for talking to us about this giant turtle. Hopefully, we've been able to convince someone out there to get a giant African turtle as a pet.
Welcome back.
Of course, we have a final guest on the show today, joining us virtually.
Yeah, she's a talented artist whose songs are inspired by our rich culture and diversity.
Of African music, of course. Ewa Cole is in the house. She's a Nigerian Afro soul singer and songwriter. She grew rapidly after the release of her debut single, Alone. Yeah, we'll be talking to her about music, her sound, and every other thing in between. Hello, Ewa Cole.
Good to have you join us.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah,
here.
first,
Thanks for having me.
congratulations on the release of your EP.
Thank you.
Recently. So talk to us about the response so far in the past almost 2 months now that the EP has been out.
Okay, the response has been awesome actually, because on AudioMack alone we have almost, I think, about 90K listens, and we have not even gone into full promotion yet. We're just trying to see how the EP is going to do on its own, like how it's going to go on its own. So the love has been real. Thank you guys for all the love.
Oh, very good, very nice.
So let's talk about the process of putting that EP together. What did it mean to you as an EP, as a body of work? What did it represent?
Okay, the EP is titled Queen of Afro Soul, AFRO, so LK, not soul, soak, which is the
Afro
fusion
soul,
of Afro pop, which is the fusion of Afro pop music, soul music, and folk music. So the EP contains songs with the fusion of Afro pop, soul, and folk music, basically. So it's just to put out my genre to the world. This is what I do. This is my own kind of music.
Yeah.
So you guys should understand me.
So I like that angle. So did you coin soak as a word? Did you coin it? Was it Ewa that coined the word soak? Because this is a fusion of different kinds of like 3 or 4 genres. So is it the word soak? Is that your word?
Yes, that's my word. Well, actually, I had a brown direction for my first manager at first. So it was in that direction towards Afropop, folk, and soul music. So I just said, okay, for people to understand, why can't I just coin the word? So Afro soul.
Wow, so that's
nice.
That's somebody birthed a new genre of music during the lockdown.
You know, that's exactly what I wanted to mention. Genre of music. You have about it's a potpourri of like 2-3, genres of music together. Let's talk about your musical origins. How did you get to be involved in all these genres of music? What was your inspiration in music growing up? Your icons. How did Ewa Cole come to be who she is now, musically?
Okay, my icons growing up, I would say I'm a music lover. Anything music, that moves the soul. Good music. I love good music. So growing up, people like Majek Pashek, Beyonce, these people with good music just influenced me to start my own music path.
Yeah, so coming out now, I mean, the response, like you said, has been warm and very nice, and you haven't even started promotion yet and all of that. So now, with this EP out, what's your message? What do you want people to hear from Afro Soak and also from the Essential Era?
Okay. When people listen to my songs, like singles from me, let's say a track of my song, they'll be like, okay, you sound like Niniola. For example, Western sounds like Afro House. You'll be like, you sound like Niniola here. You sound like Teniola here. You're sounding like Tiwa Savage here. But when you listen to the EP, Afro Soul, you'll be like, okay, now I know what Ewa really sounds like. If you hear another track, if I drop a new song, now you'll be like, this is Ewa. So the EP has helped me to help my fans or people that love me to know my sound more and to listen to my voice, just basically.
What else do you do? Is there any other thing you do apart from music? Is it music full-time for you, or there's something you do beside music?
Well, yes, I do a lot of things beside music. I'm an IT consultant.
You are? I like
yes.
Ladies in IT are always on point. I don't know. There's something about you ladies in IT. I mean, I'd want a lady to handle the IT things, you know. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. What else? Yaba?
So I have this hair care company too for hair growth. You can see my hair is natural.
Team natural.
Dye your hair.
Yeah, well, once there's Afro in your name or in what you do, we expect that it'll be natural. So now the second half of 2020 starts tomorrow, and you know, of course, now the EP is out. Are you going to be doing some major promotions? I know that a lot of your kind of music is also driven by live performances. So what are the things that we should expect from Ewa over the next few months?
Over the next moving forward.
Okay. We're actually working on live concerts. I don't know when it's going to be, but we've been talking about it. So we're going to have a live IG concert for everybody. So you guys should participate.
Okay.
We're going to tell you when.
All right.
I don't know yet, but we're going to inform you when we're going to be having it. So yeah, for now, I guess.
All right. Oh, all right, wonderful. So it's, of course, being an IT person, you said it's going to be online, right? It's going to be online. It's not like it's going to be a physical thing and all of that. It's going to be online.
No. Yes. Due to this COVID-19.
Yes, you know, that's one other question I also wanted to ask. How was the COVID era, pre-COVID or COVID itself and post-COVID era, how has it affected you as a person? And then also as an IT person, what tips can you give us post-COVID era?
Well, how has it affected me? I actually learned new stuff while staying back at home. You know, now lockdown, everything, nothing to do. Then I started exercising too. So it has really helped me health-wise in improving myself too in life. So computer science, IT consultant. As an advice, what can I advise you as an IT consultant?
Just IT tips for the
computer science. That's the way now. Technology is the way out now. So go and study computer science or learn something in computer.
Everybody can study computer science. Ewa, it's not possible. Your name. So who study medicine? Who study engineering? You computer science used to feel like the world revolves around you people. Yeah?
It's been good talking to you, Ewa.
It's not about
it's been good. Yeah. It's been good talking to you, Ewa. We're gonna be
looking forward to that concert.
Looking forward to the concert and also your promotions and all of that. But I'm personally going to be downloading your EP after the show, so I can hear more of your songs. I've heard 2 of your songs already.
All right.
And they're really good, really good.
Well done, Ewa. Thank you for making our time to be with us this morning. Thank you. All right. That's quite cool. All these IT people, we know everything's going to be computer. Everybody cannot read computer science.
Very true.
But yeah.
Now, coriander rice in the kitchen.
Coriander.
Well,
coriander.
It has three names.
Cilantro.
There's cilantro, coriander.
Okay.
Is it coriander? Yeah, but something. Anyway, let's go to the kitchen.
Last, still rice.
I told you it sounds like a dance move.
All right, so welcome back to Yomi's kitchen. This is where things are happening.
No, Yomi actually put together this one. The way they were packing the food, man.
Yeah.
At one point, it was just like 5 minutes. They were just going on and on. They're just staring and staring. So I was just what are these?
This here is
Why are these women staring?
This here is Chef Adiola, and she's of official One Pot on Instagram. So check her out for more of her videos, what she does. And she's done something really special for us, so talk to us.
Okay, so this is coriander rice and beef in brown sauce. Coriander is also known as cilantro or Chinese parsley, and basically it's related, it's in the family of parsley and all that. So something you see in China and basically Chinese leaves. And then beef in brown sauce is just the basic, the major sauce in this is the oyster sauce, which is sweet, a bit of sweet, not too sweet, not too spicy.
Not too spicy, yeah.
So I watch some cooking shows and I see all those judges there when they sit down and then they now bring the food and all that. So we're going to give her a score.
There'll be tense music.
Okay. So you guys should give that soundtrack now. I didn't say you should show your drumming skills. I said soundtrack, not the...
Where am I supposed to get soundtrack?
Show your drumming skills. Okay, so this is the...
Drum roll, please.
The beef... let's try this one.
Beef in brown sauce.
Beef in brown sauce.
Yeah.
So
Have a taste of that. So what we try to do was we try to tone down the salt, not to make it too salty.
So this has an acquired eclectic taste. For culinary aficionados like us, we say it melts into the mouth and has this this feel.
You just give
you feel like you're experiencing cultures while you're taking this.
You just give me a headache, Mike. You just give me a headache. All those words are too big for me. Is this sweet?
You people don't want me to finish all these things.
Is this sweet?
No, please go ahead.
Chef Adiola, your head is there.
Awesome, very nice.
Thank you.
Well done, Chef. And,
Thank you.
It's been a great show. Big thank you to everyone who joined us on the show today. Took our time, woke up early, set up your Skype or everything that you did, Zoom for us today. So thank you to all our guests on the show.
We're going to be back here again tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. A big shout out to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories and to all of you who contribute to the show every single day. We appreciate you.
And well done, Chef. Good job.
All right.
Great job.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.